So in this video, we're going to be talking about the common mistakes we see clients make, the common themes, the common mistakes clients make on boot camps. We've just finished doing training in Bogota. It's been a blast. And it's the same old things coming up time and again, so you can leverage this information, make sure you're not making these mistakes. We're also going to talk around how to make the process of being social, flirting and seduction fun through the lens of not focusing on the outcome, but actually just enjoying it for what it fucking is, right? So we're here with Mr. Troy Francis, sober as a judge, and Mr. Lawrence of Arabia, the new Dutch coach we have on board. And how did you find the train? First time in Latin America?
No, second time.
You've been to Bogota before?
Yeah. No, not to Bogota, but Medellin, Cartagena, Santa Marta, all the nice places.
All the nice places, not this dump.
You saved the best till last.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was your experience live coaching alongside us, joining the team and kind of putting guys through their paces? How did you find that process?
So for me, the key thing is that... Oh, cheers, man. Let me put it here.
Or just hold it. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, man. It's tight. No, what I really like is that the whole thing, what we're doing is we're not making it like something special. We're really making it as just a normal part of our lives. We're just very chill about it. So we're really making it not anything like, oh, we need to approach a girl. Guys, let's get in that mode, we need to approach a girl. No, it's just we're having fun with the guys. Yeah. And this is just part of having fun with the guys. And I think that creates the right setting also for the clients to not be able to feel like, oh shit, these guys are watching me, I now need to quote unquote perform. It's just, we're having fun with us, we're having fun with the girls. It's just an extension of ourselves. And I think that is one of the key things we are able to really incorporate, which makes the learning piece also not like enjoyable, because let's be honest, it's quite brutal out there. Huh? You can kind of get like, we're in Bogota, it can be very friendly, but you can also get really weird situations where like, what the fuck is happening? And if you feel you're gonna get judged after that, so the clients, if they feel like we're gonna say, what a fucking retard, what the fuck were you doing?
Sure.
They're gonna feel that and they're not gonna perform as well. And I think we were having that great vibe about, it's okay, it's all part of it. Yeah. I think that was one of the key things we were able to kind of generate with all of us. Yeah. And also between the clients, right?
Sure. Good points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think just like normalising the process, just making it as, it's just part of your everyday life. But I mean, what would you say some of the key, if you had to list, say, the top 3 key things that guys are commonly doing wrong that we've seen in this boot camp, what would you sort of pinpoint?
I think the first one is that guys shoot themselves in the foot before they actually has started, right? So they see a set, oh, I can't even approach it, it's not gonna work. So they come up with this mindset like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna do it, but I don't believe it's actually gonna work. And what happens? It doesn't work, right? Yeah. So they kind of set themselves up before they even start, they set themselves up for failure.
So you're saying they're kind of negative self-talking, or they just don't approach, or
they don't approach, we kind of need to convince them. They don't see what we maybe see the situation for as it is. A guy and a girl, oh, that must be the boyfriend.
They're looking for the negatives rather than the opportunities.
Exactly. So how can I kind of turn this around and see the fun in it and just go for it with the belief, oh, it's going to be fun, actually, it's going to be fine.
I think some of the understanding how the brain actually works is useful, because the brain is not built for fun and it's built to keep us safe.
Exactly.
So it's automatically going to identify threats. So it sees that and it's going to look for, oh, she's walking too fast, she's walking too slow, she's too hot, she's not hot enough. We have to be aware of our own hardware and simply observe it, metacognition, and be like, almost laugh at it like it's a naughty child, like, yeah, I hear you, whatever, and take the action anyway. So I think that's helpful. And also leaning into this idea of, if we can paradoxically fall in love with rejection and see it as a growth process, right, and it's you win or you learn every approach, if you can nullify the power of rejection, there is no reason not to charge around like a headless chicken and approach every single girl you ever thought was hot, because it doesn't matter, it's just the ego, again, trying to keep you safe, right?
Exactly, and especially the hot ones, if you get rejected by them, it's like, oh fuck, it's really something, that's something to do with me.
Well, I think it's worse when I'm slightly hungover and I've gone big game hunting, because I'm like, oh, let's go for some low-hanging Mr. M style fruit. And then they get blown out by the buffaloes. I'm like, oh, no. You want to unfurl this list? Do you know who I fucked? How dare you? Like, roll out this scroll, and she's like, because they just play you as you are in that moment, right? Humans aren't one way, we're just the states we're in. We've all been floating on clouds, and we've all been crawling along with hookers riding on our backs, just
100%. I think the second one is, and we've talked about this also, is you see the growth in the beginning of the day and the end of the day.
Yes.
And this is one of the ones where guys, for me, it's about, you should have the confidence in yourself that you know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. And that's the thing you need to understand. Your first, your second, doesn't mean that that's going to be the same result for the rest of the day.
Of course.
So the kind of the momentum and especially the fun part starts when you kind of get into the third and fourth set, and you've gone basically through a few shit ones, and it's like, oh, it doesn't matter, and suddenly you get into that zone, and it's just, you say the same thing.
It's the ego dropping, isn't it? And being like, you know what, rejection doesn't bother me now. Let me have fun with it, you know?
And this is what the guys notice. Suddenly they're like, they talk different to us, right? They say, I don't know which girl to talk to, or like, because there's so many, I've got so many numbers, and they just completely have a different mindset than they had at the beginning of the day, because they're like, oh, I need to get into it. So it's a really a key thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, momentum is like super important, and you know, like, it doesn't matter. It's almost advantageous to get blown out a few times at the beginning, because then after that, it's like, well, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst has already happened. So,
for night game especially, that's what we encourage them to do, to get blown out a few times, and they kind of enter social god mode, don't
exactly, they? Yeah. Then you just get into that mode, and there is a sort of a leap of faith with this, because particularly if you're new and you haven't done it before, and then you get rejected a load of times, it's very easy to then say, oh right, well, this doesn't work. And a lot of guys do that. They go to the internet and become trolls, and they go, oh, cold approach doesn't work. It's like, well, no, it hasn't worked for you for some reason, probably because you haven't put enough work in. There may be other things that need to be sorted out as well, which is why ultimately coaching is of such value, because, you know, we can see you from the outside and probably see things about what you're doing that you're not, you, the client, are probably not aware of. What else do you think clients or guys are commonly doing that is wrong?
I think, and this is the one, so we start off just getting comfortable in talking, and I think what we try to emphasize is that a 2-minute conversation and you get like a really good response, like, oh, it's on, means nothing, right? And getting the number in 2 minutes is just something that in the beginning feels really nice, and it can be very addictive. Oh, I've got 10 really short conversations, but really they feel good, but at the end they lead to nothing. So I think what we're trying to do is, and this is what we talked about halfway during the camp, say, guys, we got the reps and now let's get the quality in.
Right.
Let's solidify it.
Yes.
And trying to help them there, because at the end of the day, you want to meet up. If you don't have solid numbers, you can't meet up, right? So I think this is the key piece. You saw the guys were like, oh, I got a good response. Let's quickly get the number. Let's get the fuck out of there before I kind of blow it up.
Right.
And that is kind of like, no, you're going to stay in there for longer. We're going to push you there, because then the chance of you actually talking to her later are going to increase.
Yeah. Well, I think what we're trying to do ultimately is create some kind of emotional connection with the woman that we're talking to, that then leads to a phone number, and then is more likely to lead to a date. So you want to create some sort of emotion in her. So it's not as simple as just going over and having a kind of polite conversation for 2 minutes, and then going, oh, can I grab your number? And then expecting her to want to, you know, come out with you and meet you later or whatever. It's more like, I mean, really, ultimately, you want to make her feel a bit excited and a bit intrigued about you. Let's put it like that. You want her to think, fuck, you know, yeah, this guy, something about him, and get her a bit like, a little bit of mystery there, there's a little bit of excitement there, a little bit of those flutters that she's feeling. She's like, yeah, I definitely want to meet this dude. You know, if she's available and she's kind of into you, then she's likely to come out. I think what a lot of guys, it's almost like, they'll just have a very normal conversation, like, hey, I'm first time at Bogota, where are some good restaurants? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, nice. Oh, the Italian place in Zona T, great. Okay. Oh, can I get your number? And then maybe they get a number, and it's just, but there's no sort of there's no substance to that, and there's no nothing's happened in that conversation that has created a spark that would logically make her want to meet you, unless she just happens to be really into you, and you know you're massively her type, and yeah, great, no problem. But in general, you know, it doesn't really work like that. We need to warm it up a little bit first, and we do that in the conversation by creating a bit, you know, spikes, a little bit of teasing, a little bit of banter, a little bit of joke, making her think, oh, right, this guy, he's got something. And that's the thing that's going to want to make her want to meet you.
100%. And I think that's all we're trying to do that in fun and playful way. We talked about the self-amusing part. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's just being willing to kind of push it and really go at not just the 5 minutes, but even go for 10, 15 minutes. That's where you really are able to really see her next time. Like we talked about the instant date. I think that's really good.
Okay, interesting. So you're spending 10 to 15 minutes maybe in a conversation.
If I can, I'd rather do that than do 20 approaches. So,
okay.
And depends on where you're at, right, and what you want to accomplish. But the frustrating thing is you think you're doing very well.
Yes.
And it looks great, like those 2 minute, the amazing reaction. And it's what I told you, it's a vapor, right? It just disappears after you're gone. It's like, what's the story I'm going to tell my friends I met this guy, James. He made me laugh, but I have no idea who the fuck he is.
Yes.
So I'm not going to meet up with him. And if you really are able to get that 10, 15-minute conversation with emotional spikes, connection, and really like, why would I actually want to see this guy James again? You're going to increase your chances a lot better. So for me, rather longer conversations, and don't go for too long, but really those types when you know it's on, right? When you know and you're able to guide it towards meeting up, rather that than just go for 20 short ones. But it also depends on what your goals of that day. But I think for my goal would be to actually, the guys want to really meet these girls later. They don't want to have, at a certain point in time, they don't want just to do all the approach. They also want to be able to go on the date and experience that.
Of course, it's a funnel, and I think you make a key point, which is connection. It needs to be a two-way street. You need to reach the point of delivering enough value so she feels attraction, and she clearly wants to know about you, and that's the key indicator that a lot of guys fuck up on, because they'll just talk for a bit about nothing and then ask for the number. The girl's done no work.
There's like a disconnect. There's like a disconnect between the conversation, which is, oh, you look like you're from France. Oh, interesting. I've been to France, and now, so tell me, where should I go in Bogota? What are the best bars? Oh, can I get your number? And it's like there's no congruence, there's no emotional congruence between the conversation and the request for the number. The number really should be almost an afterthought. It should be almost like she should almost be offering her you. And this sometimes happens. She should almost be offering you her number, because of course she wants to meet up with you because the vibe is so good.
It's a natural consequence of a good vibing conversation. And that's such a key point, because a lot of guys think, let me just get to the number and then I'm secure. And they're using the number as like a waypoint, as like success. But no, it shouldn't be that. The number, forget the number. It's like, do I actually vibe with this person? Better to save time on the front end to then not go on a dud date as well.
100%.
Because I used to just try and do that, get on a date and be like, it's a fucking waste of time. If you go on a date with a girl and you don't really vibe with her or don't know her much, it's like, what a waste of time, right? But spend longer on the front end, make sure you actually both vibe. And again, it's that ability to bear out the tension, isn't it? Premature ejaculation is usually part of what the students do, is that delayed approach anxiety, like, oh, this is going well, let me keep the good feels going, let me just quickly get the number.
Exactly.
And then let me make her do no work, and then there's nothing to risk, you know?
Because that's what we talked about, right? What do people value? She's put no effort. Does she value the conversation? Does she value
Exactly, no investment.
Just to reiterate, I mean, you made that key point earlier as well. Does she know anything about you?
Yes.
Because once again, remember, she's probably going to go back and maybe talk to her mates about it or something like that and say, oh yeah, I met this guy in Andino shopping mall before, he seemed really cool, or I'm thinking of going out with him, and the girls are like, well, what do you know about him? What does he do? She's like, I know absolutely nothing about him at all. But he was quite funny, and he was wearing a cool black shirt. And her mates are probably, because I mean, it's not just pressure from friends, but you know, as she comes away, like the emotion may have been high in the moment, but as she comes away from that emotion, it starts to dissipate. Then she's going to start thinking, well, hang on a minute, who was this guy? Like, how do I don't know anything about him. And there's this, I'm not talking about the stranger danger element, although that plays in a little bit, but also just like, I just don't, there was no substance to it, you know? And then if she speaks to a friend and her friend's like, oh, you know, that sounds a bit dodgy, like some random dude, and you're just going to go out with it, like you don't know anything about this guy. So I think that you need to ground it by, and in the past, you know, we've even done things like say to her, oh, what 3 things would you like to know about me, or something like that. I mean, you don't have to do it in that kind of manner. You can just tell us some stuff. And you know, I always try, you want to do the flirty bit, do the fun, do the playful bit, get to the hook point when she's kind of obviously somewhat invested in the conversation, and then bring it down, bring the energy down a little bit to a more normal conversation. We're like, hey, yeah, you know, I'm working in Bogota at the moment. I kind of come here a lot because I got like business stuff here. You know, I normally stay in this area. How about you? Oh, you're studying. That's really interesting. Blah blah blah. And so then you know something about each other on a kind of human level as well. You know, but you know, at the same time retaining a little bit of mystery about yourself, so you don't want to give too much away.
No, I think that's very good. At the end of the day, you also need to kind of understand why she's special to you, because if you're doing this, she's like, but why did you actually talk to me? She also wants to have the feeling why you actually want the number, why you actually want to see her up again, right? So just to add on to that, but no, very good.
I think it's good if you can, I mean, it can be difficult, and I mean, we talked to one of the guys on this boot camp, and he was saying, you know, he tends to say very similar stuff every time, and that's kind of fine. I mean, you know, often these conversations are going to go in a kind of similar way. You are going to be saying similar things, as long as it seems fresh each time. Great, but at the same time, if there is something you notice about her, and there probably should be, there probably is something about her, like maybe the way she presents herself, like she's got some interesting tattoos, some jewelry, some certain vibe about her. If you can mention something that's like specific about her that is the reason why you stopped her specifically? Because remember, the way we're
Latte,
presenting this as well
Latte.
is this is not something that I do every day. This is not just something, this is because this is I never normally do this, but there was something about you, some energy, and I just had to just come and say hi. And if you can pinpoint what that is, it's just something about the way you walk or something about the way the way you're dressed. I can see you're very stylish. It looks like you're a really creative sort of person. I really like that energy about you. That's going to really help with that process. And it should be genuine and authentic as well. It should be genuinely what you think.
100%.
Sum up points.
I'm not even sure what were the points.
What are some of the key areas that guys go wrong?
Oh yeah, so not approaching.
I think the
Not getting
shooting
investment.
themselves in the foot is number one. Before it even starts, not thinking that's going to work out. Secondly, prematurely ejaculation. We talked about getting out of the conversation. Nice one. Not getting themselves out of the conversation as soon as they got the numbers. Like, oh, it's good now. I've got the number. It's a success. Fucking that piece up. And the third thing, not being genuine, not having fun. I think the fun, we talked about the difference in starting and ending your day, and kind of understanding that it's a growth process. You have to we talked about that, push yourself to have fun and go for it, because that will resonate to your sets and everything you do. Those were, I think, 3 key ones. Maybe the fourth one, just general having fun with it, not taking it all too seriously. It's just a girl on the street.
No big deal.
Exactly. It's just part of your normal life.
So yeah, the key points were not blowing yourself out, because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So your brain is going to come up with excuses to stay in the comfort zone, but we all know life begins outside the comfort zone, as cheesy as that sounds. So be prepared for your brain to be working against you, and you've just got to bypass it and approach the girl anyway. Making sure you stay in the conversation, so no premature ejaculation, no just talking and asking for the number. She hasn't done any work, so making sure she's invested. It's a two-way street, and the number should just be an afterthought. It should be like a natural consequence. Of course we're going to exchange numbers. We vibe on a human level, right? And it's okay if you don't vibe, but better to save time on the front end by seeing if you vibe, to then not have to waste time on the back end, the date, not hanging out the back, but actually the back end being the date. So if your numbers are flaking, if you're unable to approach, or you're approaching a lot, you're not getting anywhere with this stuff, get some feedback on what you're doing. There is no better men than Mr. Troy Francis and Lawrence of Arabia to put you through your paces in Latin America, or we are transitioning soon to Europe, aren't we? We're going to be in Barcelona, Warsaw, probably Turkey. Istanbul away is always a good one, trying to avoid getting shot by the locals while seducing their women. So yeah, all in all, it's been epic as usual. Send us an email, info@jamestusk.com. Any questions, queries, include your WhatsApp number, and we'll be in touch. We'll see you in the next video. Book a call on the link below so we can help you map out exactly what you want in your dating life, the strategy, the vision, and we can help you get from A to B as quickly as possible, depending on what you want. That's the key thing. We've been doing this for 10 years. We've worked with thousands of dudes. We can save you your most valuable assets, which are your time, your attention, and your money, and get you from A to B as fast as possible. So book a free call, a free dating strategy consultation with us below.